অনিশ্চিত এতিয়া শিক্ষাৰ্থীৰ ভৱিষ্যত কিন্তু এই সময়খিনিতে ইআৰডি ফাউণ্ডেশ্যনৰ বিশেষ এক প্ৰচেষ্টা আৰম্ভ হ'ব ইআৰডি ফাউণ্ডেশ্যনৰ এক নতুন যাত্ৰা আৰু এই নতুন যাত্ৰা আজি আমি সাক্ষী হৈ ৰম ভাৰ্চুৱেল লঞ্চিং কৰা হ'ব কেইবাগৰাকী অতিথি আমাৰ সৈতে থাকিব মেঘালয়ৰ ৰাজ্যপাল আমাৰ সৈতে আছে তথাগত ৰায় আমাৰ সৈতে আছে অধ্যাপক ডক্টৰ দীপিকা ডেকা থাকিব অধ্যাপক দিলীপ চন্দ্ৰ নাথ থাকিব অধ্যাপক জি.ডি. শৰ্মা থাকিব অধ্যাপক ৰজত গুপ্তা থাকিব অধ্যাপক ধীৰাজ বৰা থাকিব অধ্যাপক বিনোদ কুমাৰ জৈন থাকিব অধ্যাপক কে.আৰ.এছ. সম্ভাশিব ৰাও থাকিব গতিকে আমি এক ঐতিহাসিক মুহূৰ্তৰ সাক্ষী হ'বলৈ গৈ আছো পুনপটীয়া সম্প্ৰচাৰ যোগে আমি এই অতিথিসকলক পাম যেহেতু ভাৰ্চুৱেল লঞ্চিঙৰ এয়া এক ঐতিহাসিক মুহূৰ্ত আমি এই মুহূৰ্তত যাব বিচাৰিছো ইআৰডি ফাউণ্ডেশ্যনৰ জইণ্ট এছিষ্টেণ্ট লগতে আমি যাব বিচাৰিছো মেহজাবিন ৰহমানৰ কাষলৈ মেহজাবিন ৰহমান আপোনাৰ ওচৰলৈ আহিছো এক ঐতিহাসিক মুহূৰ্তৰ আমি সাক্ষী হ'বলৈ গৈ আছো ভাৰ্চুৱেল লঞ্চিং
Thank you. I think, good morning, everybody. Honorable Governor, sir. Before we start the program, we would request all to kindly raise for the national anthem.
Jana Gana Mana Adhinayate Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Uttal Banga Vindhya Himachal Yamuna Chalo Jaladi Taranga Shubh Name Jage Tav Shubh Ashirvad Mage Rahe Tav Jaya Jana Gana Mangala Nayak Jaya He Jaya He Jaya He Jaya Jaya Jaya.
Thank you, everybody. Honorable, good morning, Sri Tathagata Roy, Honorable Governor of Meghalaya, Honorable Vice Chancellors of various universities, Head of institutions, members of the academic fraternity, students, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of ERD Foundation and Allama College of Pharmacy, we would like to welcome all to the virtual inauguration of the first batch of Allama College of Pharmacy, Badarpur. Before we start, I would like to state that the journey of ERD Foundation under the chairmanship of Sri Mahbubul Haq sir, which started with just one computer, 4 students and rupees 85 in February 2001, has emerged as one of, in a very short period of time, has emerged as one of the largest institutional network of the Northeast India, with 2 CBSE affiliated senior secondary school, 1 engineering college, 1 women's college, 1 B.Ed college, 1 law college, 2 pharmacy college, 1 center for coaching and guidance, and 1 University of Science and Technology in Meghalaya. And today, in a very auspicious occasion for us, because we are starting a new journey with the launch of Allama College of Pharmacy. I would now like to request Sri Mahbubul Haq sir, Honorable Chancellor, USTM and Chairman, ERD Foundation, Allama College of Pharmacy, to kindly preside over the function and present the welcome speech. Sir.
Thank you, Mehjabin. Good morning and namaskar to everyone. Honorable Governor of Meghalaya, Sri Tathagata Rai sir, who will be giving the inaugural speech of this great event. Distinguished Vice Chancellors from various central universities and state universities. I must mention Professor Deepika Deka Madam, who is our affiliating authority of this new college, Allama College of Pharmacy, who will be giving the keynote speech on pharmaceutical education. I welcome Professor Binod Kumar Jain sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor at Tezpur University, Professor Bora sir, Vice Chancellor Assam Science and Technology University, Honorable Governor, only university, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Assam University Silchar, Professor Dilip Chandra Nath sir, Professor Rajat Gupta sir, Director NIT Mizoram, Honorable Vice Chancellor Atal Bihari Vajpayee Vishwavidyalaya, Professor G.B. Sharma sir, and many other dignitaries from various sections of life who have joined. I welcome all of you. I welcome all the participants who have joined through social media, Facebook, Zoom, and as well as large number of viewers who is watching News Live. I am very grateful to News Live channel who will be giving live telecast of this program, and they are very encouraging to telecast the lecture of our Honorable Governor of Meghalaya. We are all knowing he is not only governor, he is a great writer, he is a great activist, and he is a great academician. Recently, Sir have delivered a speech on NAC, invited or organized by the NAC, and more than 200 faculty members from our university have joined. Everyone is talking about that Sir is a better academician than anything. Sir, I welcome you today in this auspicious occasion. You have made our many memorable events a great success. I welcome all the vice chancellors who are very much fond of our foundation. You never say no. Whenever we say that for any such kind of occasion, you always say yes. And today, you are knowing that this pandemic situation, everything in standstill, but we always try to convert challenge into opportunity. We have conducted online tests for this particular pharmacy course, D Pharma and V Pharma. More than 500 students appeared for 126. We have given the result in time and our admission is over. And we are going to start regular classes from 27th of July this month. And taking this opportunity, we have requested Honorable Governor. And within 2 days' time, we have got the confirmation that Sir will be giving the blessings to the first batch. And you will be happy to know that today our students, they are attending this particular program with new dress, t-shirt of the college. And their parents are also joining in different. I am very grateful to all the team of ERD Foundation who have made this possible. You have seen that how technology can be used for different kind of purposes. We are totally ignorant about it. Today we are making this particular event happen. If we make it physically, an Honorable Governor can make a visit to Badarpur, probably we can get 2,000, 3,000 people to join and listen to his address. But today, I am very much confident that more than lakhs people are viewing our this entire session, because News Live have more than 1 lakh viewers at any moment of time. So I welcome all of you, Honorable Vice Chancellor, all the dignitaries from various institutions, various universities who have joined. This is our 9th venture, Allama College of Pharmacy in Barak Valley. And this is the first self-financed pharmacy college in the entire valley. If we compare with the south, in one district, you will get more than 50, 60 pharmacy college. But today we are feeling proud that entire valley where three districts and more than 25 lakhs people are there. And we have, this is the first pharmacy college in the valley after Assam University and Medical College. And it is the first in the self-finance sector. And that's why a large number of crowd, they could not go to the outside because of pandemic. So they made crowd in our college. We could not come up with the entire infrastructure because of this lockdown and everything. But our teachers are ready with the syllabus. They are going to take the classes. I am very grateful to Pharmacy Council of India and especially our affiliating body, Shankardev University of Health Science, providing affiliation. However, they made physical visit to the campus and they have given different kind of advisory, and we are trying to fulfill it. I welcome all the participants, all the students, and I am very much grateful to our principal of the college, who is working from the last two months there in Badarpur, staying in a separate house because he cannot visit the college, and working for the students and providing all such kind of logistics. Our students have got entire idea, syllabus and everything. We have already made orientation program for the students that how we can go ahead. I welcome all of you. I did not spend too much time, and my request to Honorable Governor of Meghalaya to enlighten our viewers and especially our students community and their parents who are accessing this lecture nicely from their home, sitting at home. And I am very grateful to the entire fraternity who have provided the technological support. This program is going to telecast in two Facebook. One is our USTM update and another is Allama TR College Facebook page. And we are also in the Zoom, we are expecting more than 1,000 people will be joining, and News Live is also telecast. So different communication technology we are using to telecast this program, and I hope that it will be a grand success and it will be a memorable one. Thank you very much. My request to Honorable Governor to give his inaugural speech.
Dr. Mehbubul Haq, Chairman of the ERD Foundation, Professor Dilip Chandranath, Ms. Mehjabin Rahman, Professor Dhiraj Bora, Professor Deepika Deka, Professor Gauridat Sharma, Professor K.R. Sambashiba Rao, Shri Kayam Kabir Rahman, Professor Rajat Gupta, all those who are listening through this medium to my speaking, I send greetings. And at the very outset, I thank the Allama TR College of Pharmacy for inviting me to speak on this memorable occasion. I would be failing in my duty if I don't begin by paying compliments to Professor Mahbubul Haq, an excellent organizer of education who is running a wonderful university, which I have visited a number of times, the USTM, almost on the Assam Meghalaya border, near Jorabat, which is serving both states. Though it's physically or geographically located within Meghalaya, it is serving both states, particularly the very important city of Guwahati. And to that extent, he deserves compliments for what he has been able to achieve in this short time. I should also pay compliments to the town of Badarpur, because many of you may know, many of you may not know, that Badarpur, in a sense, is a historic town. That in 1947, when there was a plebiscite or referendum in this part of the country, in Sylhet district, the whole of the district went to Pakistan or opted for Pakistan, except for 3.5 thanas. That is Ratawadi, Patharkandi, half of Karimganj and Badarpur. So in that sense, Badarpur had opted for India, and I pay compliments to Badarpur for this historic act. And I say that for this reason, Badarpur is in a sense, a historic place. I am happy to be with you in this distance mode today to launch and inaugurate the Allama TR College of Pharmacy at Sri Gauri, Badarpur, in the Barak Valley, in the southernmost part of Assam. People of Barak Valley are Bengali speaking in a state which is predominantly Assamese speaking. So I have been requested to speak in Bengali, but since there are a number of speakers and listeners here who may not understand Bengali, I would divide my speech between English and Bengali so that both things are taken care of, both aspects are taken care of. The COVID pandemic has set off a global crisis. And in the midst of this global crisis, human ingenuity has come forward to devise methods so that our normal life, so far as is possible, is kept running. And this electronic medium, digital medium of webinars, conferences, video conferences has been a great help in this regard. That is why we are today inaugurating the Allama TR College of Pharmacy using our own technology, which is the proof of the inherent strength of our technology and of the ERD Foundation. The ERD Foundation could proceed with Allama TR College project because its conceptualization, obtaining necessary approvals from the state and central government authorities, staffing, admissions, all during the pandemic time, because these electronic things were available and they were used to the maximum or to the optimum extent. Now, I consider it a privilege to inaugurate the Allama TR College of Pharmacy, an initiative of the ERD Foundation in the midst of a difficult time, and I do so hereby. The Indian pharmaceutical industry is one of the largest in the world. It has got great future. The country enjoys an important position in the global pharma sector. The position has scaled a new height in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, when India was called upon to supply hydroxyquinoline to coronavirus hit countries, including USA and with the Western European countries, which were infinitely richer than India. But in spite of that, because India has progressed so far in the pharmaceutical industry, that is why India was called upon to do so. It was a great moment for the Indian pharmaceutical industry. And the industry has committed immensely, not just to Indian, but to the global healthcare outcome. This role is going to be greater, not lesser, once the pandemic is over. And the world is going to witness a larger investment, a larger input into the healthcare system and into the pharma industry. And that is why it is most necessary that we train our young men in this technology. Unfortunately, there is a shortage of pharmacy colleges in the Northeast. In such a scenario, the students from Northeast have to go to South India or other parts of India to undergo pharmacy courses, and the problems of travel, the problems of connectivity naturally create problems. So in that view of the matter, what the ERD Foundation has done by way of service to the Northeast is a great achievement. We heard a little while back Dr. Mobul Haq saying that what we don't have in the whole of the Northeast, perhaps a district in South India has that many pharmacy colleges. Now it should be our effort to achieve that level, because the need for pharmacy, the need for pharmacists, the need for pharmaceutical graduates is no less in the Northeast than any other place, and therefore it is just as necessary to equip the Northeast India with pharmacy colleges as much as it is necessary to equip the rest of the country. The Allama TR College of Pharmacy is affiliated to Srimanta Shankardeva University of Health Sciences, Guwahati, Assam. The college has been named after Allama Taibur Rahman Barbhuiya of Hailakandi, an eminent Islamic scholar par excellence, a reformer, educationist, and an ambassador of communal peace and harmony. He was held in high esteem by the people of the Northeast for his lifelong contribution towards social and educational development. Allama TR College of Pharmacy is a dream come true project of its founder, Dr. Mahbubul Haq, about whom I have already spoken at length right at the very beginning of my talk. This is an outcome of his vision to empower society through education, to change the lives of the people of Northeast through education. Dr. Haq started this education and entrepreneurial career with 1 computer and 4 students in 2001. It boggles the mind to think that how a person making with such a small beginning could make it blossom to an university of the size of USTM, which I have seen myself and which cannot fail to impress anyone coming from outside. Ensconced in one corner of the hill, you can't see it from the roads, but once you take the turns and go inside, it's a different world altogether, and you are transported to you get the feeling that you are transported to a hub of education. And Dr. Haq deserves all the praise for it. Presently, under his chairmanship, the ERD Foundation, which is the parent organization, is running 2 CBSE affiliated senior secondary schools, 1 engineering college, 1 law school, 1 B.Ed college, 1 women's college and 1 women's college, 1 business school, 1 pharmacy college, 1 career guidance center to encourage and guide students to civil service aspirants, and 1 university, and now the Allama TR College of Pharmacy. I can only say, wow, it's a fantastic achievement. It's a great achievement. And the number of students of the ERDF have now notched up to 8,500, out of which 1,500 plus students belonging to the underprivileged are availing free education. The ERD Foundation, which has the expertise of managing many educational institutions, including the University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya, the Regional Institute of Science and Technology, is committed to impart quality education at Allama TR College of Pharmacy and produce employable graduates and diploma holders. This is very important. One problem with many of our institutions, and I have taught for 20 years in a university which is primarily an engineering university, that is Jadavpur University, where I found that in spite of its proud tradition, this career orientation is lacking to an extent. So therefore, this emphasis which has been given on employable graduates and diploma holders is very, very important. The necessary infrastructure and quality teaching staff, headed by the principal, Dr. Mahbubul Haq. Allama TR College of Pharmacy is the 2nd pharmacy institution in Barak Valley, after the School of Medical and Paramedical Sciences of Assam University. The new pharmacy college will partially provide a fillip in the pharmacy education of the Northeast. Knowledge has been recognized as a key driving force in the 21st century, and India's ability to emerge as a global competitive player will substantially depend on its knowledge sources. The massive endeavor involves creating a roadmap for the reform of knowledge sector that focuses on enhancing access to knowledge, fundamentally improving education systems, shaping the research, development, and innovation structures, and harnessing knowledge applications for generating better services. Now, following the experience that I had gathered in teaching in the engineering faculty of Jadavpur University, as I mentioned, for 20 years, I have a few very humble suggestions to make to the authorities of not just the Allama TR College of Pharmacy, but also to the other institutions which are being run under the ERD Foundation. I suggest that you lay some emphasis on communication skills. Communication skills are underdeveloped in our country, and communication skills require to be developed both in English and in Hindi, which is pretty much a pan-Indian language now, understood to some extent over most parts of India, so that a person is employable not just in his or her own state or the surrounding states, but in any part of India. This is a thing that I found lacking in my students in Jadavpur University, and I had been trying to drill it into their heads that you study all the engineering you want, but you also study some humanities and you develop your communication skills. A couple of students, they admitted that after they had passed out, more than a couple, I think 3 or 4 students, they had said that at that time we used to say, what is this man talking about? Engineering is important. Why do you have to emphasize so much communication skills? But ultimately we found, sir, that we know all the engineering, but we can't get it out of our mouths. We can't get it through pen or computer. So that is why it is most important to develop communication skills. It is my humble suggestion to the university administrators and authorities here. Having said this far, I must, having regard to the request that Professor Mahbubul Haq had made, and with regard to the Bengali-speaking population of the Barak Valley, I will now say a few words in Bengali. আজকে আমরা যে বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় বা যে ফার্মেসি কলেজের উদ্বোধন করতে এখানে এসেছি মানে হচ্ছে মানে সেই আগেকার অর্থে আসিনি। আজকে আমরা সেই অর্থে এসেছি যে এই করোনা প্যান্ডেমিকের মধ্যে যে অর্থটা একমাত্র বজায় রাখা সম্ভব হয়, আজকে যদি এই মাধ্যম না থাকতো তাহলে আমাদের হয় এই অনুষ্ঠান বাদই দিয়ে দিতে হতো, আর তা না হলে এই অনুষ্ঠান করতে হতো সরাসরি গিয়ে, এবং তার মধ্যে আমাদের এই করোনা সংক্রমিত হওয়ার ঝুঁকি থেকে যেত। সেটা যে হয়নি, এবং এত সুষ্ঠুতার সঙ্গে এত ভালোভাবে যে ইআরডি ফাউন্ডেশনের কর্তৃপক্ষরা এই অনুষ্ঠানের, এই ভার্চুয়াল অনুষ্ঠানের আয়োজন করেছেন, সেই জন্য আমি তাদের ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি, এবং আমাকে এখানে আমন্ত্রণ করবার জন্যও আমি তাদের ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি। আমি একটুখানি আগে যখন ইংরেজিতে বলছিলাম তখন শুরুতেই বলছিলাম যে প্রফেসর মাহবুবুল হক একজন অসাধ্য সাধনকারী, যিনি 4টি ছাত্র আর 2টি কম্পিউটার নিয়ে আরম্ভ করেছিলেন 2001 সালে। আজকে এক বিশাল সাম্রাজ্য তৈরি করেছেন যেখানে প্রচুর ছাত্রছাত্রী শিক্ষা পায়। এবং প্রথম যখন আমি ইউএসটিএম বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় দেখতে গিয়েছিলাম জোড়াবাটের কাছে, যেটা রাস্তা থেকে দেখা যায় না, পাহাড়ের ভেতরে ঢুকে আমি বাস্তবিক হতভম্ব হয়ে গিয়েছিলাম যে এত বড় একটা বিশ্ববিদ্যালয় এখানে থাকতে পারে, এবং এটা মানুষকে ডেকে দেখাবার মতো জায়গা। আমি লোককে বলিও যে এরকম একটা জায়গা হতে পারে, এবং একজনের মূলত আমি যা শুনতে পাই ওই একজনের প্রচেষ্টাতেই হয়েছে, একজনের প্রচেষ্টাতে এরকম একটা জিনিস সম্ভব হতে পারে। সেই জন্য আমি তাকে অকুণ্ঠ সাধুবাদ জানাচ্ছি। তিনি যা যা করেছেন তার মধ্যে আজকের যেটার জন্য আমরা এখানে মিলিত হয়েছি, অর্থাৎ এই আল্লামা টিআর কলেজ অফ ফার্মেসি, এটা একটা অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ জিনিস। কারণ আমাদের প্রয়োজন ফার্মেসি গ্রাজুয়েট এবং ফার্মেসি ডিপ্লোমা হোল্ডার। প্রফেসর মাহবুবুল হক যে এই ব্যবস্থাটা করেছেন, এই কলেজটা তৈরি করেছেন, এবং এই কলেজটা বিশেষ করে বদরপুর শহরে হয়েছে, এটা একটা অত্যন্ত শ্লাঘার ব্যাপার। আমি এও বলেছি যে বদরপুর শহর একটি ঐতিহাসিক শহর, কারণ 1947 সালে যখন সিলেট জেলায় গণভোট হয়েছিল তখন সম্পূর্ণ সিলেট জেলা পাকিস্তানে চলে গিয়েছিল গণভোটের ফলে, কিন্তু ব্যতিক্রম ছিল 3.5টি থানা, রাতাবাড়ি, পাথরকান্দি, করিমগঞ্জ থানার অর্ধেক এবং বদরপুর। সেই জন্য বদরপুরকে সাধুবাদ জানানো উচিত। এই বদরপুর শহর আজকে একটা নতুন প্রচেষ্টা দেখতে পাচ্ছে এই আল্লামা টিআর কলেজ অফ ফার্মেসির মাধ্যমে, এবং সেই জন্য প্রফেসর মাহবুবুল হক এবং বাকি যারা আছেন যারা এর ব্যবস্থা করেছেন, সেই জন্য আমি সকলকে অকুণ্ঠ সাধুবাদ জানিয়ে আপনার সাধুবাদ জানাচ্ছি, আপনাদের ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি। Ladies and gentlemen, I have now almost come to the end of what I intended to say. I hope I haven't spoken too long and bored you, but I was saying things that really came out of my heart, because I am an academic at heart, and although I started life in a different way,
a major player also in outsourced clinical research and contract manufacturing. So there are a lot of things that needs to be done. Dear students, during your course, you will have to learn, as our honorable professor also has said, the governor, that communication and interpersonal skills are very, very important. Besides, of course, the formal curriculum. You need to learn about the medicinal and the scientific research skills. As you all know that I have been stressing from day one on research. That is another thing, sir, which is very, very backward, actually. I was sorry to use that word, or I would say that it is not featuring in the national levels anywhere. So research is something which really needs to be stressed. And therefore, you need curiosity and pursuable skills. Only if you think about what is lacking here, what research, new ideas. I find that even the PhD synopsis that have come to me, I am not satisfied, because they are literally just repeating what has already been done 10 to even 20 years back. And therefore, on the 29th, I am doing a CME, continuing education program, on how to write a PhD synopsis. Therefore, I again want to stress the need for scientific research and therefore scientific research skills. Certainly, they would be learning about technical skills, therapeutic and counseling skills, of course, business skills, because a lot of people would like to go into the business aspect of it, medical writing, and adaptability to dynamic situations. As of now, COVID is the most dynamic situation, and the pharmacy industry has really, really contributed a lot to it. We have already been discussing it. And I think for the next 2-3 years, this is going to be a very, very important, COVID is going to be a very, very important place for research. The various specific research ideas would be medicinal biochemistry, organic, inorganic, pharmacognosis, phytopharmaceuticals. We know that a lot of medicines which are really chemicals are not looked upon as number one, drug. So phytochemicals are coming in a very big way, which means you have plant-derived pharmaceutical drugs. So that is very, very important. The other things that you need to do is community pharmacy, pharmaceutical microbiology, Of course, jurisprudence. A lot of these things are to do with drugs. Therefore, important, we know it's very, very important. So any drug that you develop has to go through a lot of trials. And that is why we have been having a lot of problems coming up with the COVID vaccine, because the trials do take up a lot of time and needs to be done in the very, very high standards. So, of course, there are new branches in pharmacy, especially when you do the doctorate degrees, you come up with pharmacoepidemiology, pharmacoeconomics. So these are the things. And certainly, again, I would like to stress on research, clinical pharmacy. As you know that I was in AIIMS, Delhi, and we had a whole ward on clinical pharmacy. That was not under the, after the pass out, most of the doctors, and especially those who are in private practice, I'm not talking about the doctors who are in the teaching profession, they really depend upon the pharmaceutical medical representatives to tell them about the new drugs available in the market. Of course, nowadays we do have a lot of continuing medical education programs, but the pharmaceutical drug representatives have a very important role in actually educating the doctors about the new molecule that has come into the market, the side effects, and the dosage, the selection of the drugs, interactions, etc. Therefore, pharmacists can also conduct research in collaboration with the doctors. As I said, we have the clinical pharmacy, and that is very, very important for developing drugs, new drugs. Also, if by mistake a doctor has provided a drug, for example, a drug is given to a kidney patient, kidney disease patient, which is potentially disastrous, then it is a pharmacist who many times tell them that no, this drug is dangerous, go back to your doctor and tell them that you have kidney disease, or you have heart disease, or that you are taking this other medicine. Because in the clinic, in the OPD, a doctor may not have time to actually ask what other medicines are you taking. And as you know, there are some drugs which should not be taken with other drugs. Like you should not be taking some drugs with anticoagulant drugs. So therefore, it is very important for the pharmacist who ultimately doles out the medicine to the patient to be aware of what are the potentially disastrous medication errors. And this may save the life of the patient, which has gone unnoticed. So it is like a second line, that you are helping the patients in taking the right medication. Therefore, you play a very crucial role in the health systems to maintain a rational and safe use of medicine. So that's a very, very important role. I've been asked to talk about the future, about the challenges in the coming years. And I think it's a very, very important challenge. The coming years will be especially critical because of the COVID pandemic that we are seeing. We know we are very proud of the Central Drug Research Institute, Lucknow, which has produced very important drugs, namely Saheli, which is a contraceptive which is very, very popular in our country. And recently, they are doing clinical trials on synthetic anti-malarial molecules. You have been very, very talking about the chloroquine, but we know that this has a lot of side effects. And therefore, new drugs have to come into the market, and it's very, very important. Then I am very happy that there are two synthetic molecules which are potent inhibitors of collagen-induced platelet adhesion and aggregation for the heart disease patients. Also, there are many drugs for tuberculosis, which is still very rampant in our country. And most of these drugs have a lot of side effects. They destroy the liver, they have many other problems. You cannot treat them with many other drugs. So it becomes a real problem treating tuberculosis. And then we are also having drug-resistant tuberculosis. Therefore, new drugs for tuberculosis. Then we have this drug prostacyclin, which is for prostate hyperplasia. This is very important. And recently, they are also doing research on Brahmi, which is, again, a phyto drug, which is used to enhance memory and learning. So the whole body is there for you to try to create drugs, to make drugs which are of use. And what's very, very important is that to develop drugs on diseases which are still a challenge. Like, as I said, tuberculosis, malaria, leishmaniasis, and many, many, the list is endless. This SWOT analysis, strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats, has shown that India is a vast pool of trained pharmaceutical scientists, doctors, and researchers. And there is a great avenue for joint collaborative research and joint intellectual property rights. So patents is something which is not very well developed in our country. Our strengths are the low cost of innovation, manufacturing operations, and skilled manpower. We should do them in the Barak Valley. We should do it in this part of the country. And I would like to end by adding a little trivia. We all need role models in our lives whom we follow. I have a role model as well, which I will not maybe tell you in another meeting. But I just thought that this would be of interest to you. That the famous pharmacist from Monaco, his name is Stefano Pessina. Have you heard of him? He is the CEO and the largest shareholder of Walgreens Boots Alliance. And he is number 72 on the Bloomberg's Billionaires Index worth. And he's worth 14.2 billion. He has 8,000 pharmacies in the United States, total of 13,200 pharmacies in 11 countries, and his presence in 25 countries, more than that. And he employs more than 4 lakhs people. His background, he is a nuclear engineer, but he took over his family's own pharmaceutical wholesale business in 1977. But his partner, Ornella Bara, who is the chief operating officer, is a qualified pharmacist. So this was just a little trivia. And then I ultimately have to thank you for my team here, from my team here at the university, for giving me this opportunity. But I was really, really tempted by what the Honorable Governor said about talking in Bengali. And well, I too can talk a little bit in Bengali. I'm not so bad. And I actually jotted down a few points and I don't know where I can find it. But I just want to say, Amio ekটু Bangla Tani. I'm lucky that I was born in a cosmopolitan city and Bangla practice করে ভালো লাগছে। আপনারা যারা আছেন বরাক ভ্যালিতে আপনাদের ওয়েলকাম করছি আমাদের নতুন কলেজে। আর আমি এখন ইউনিভার্সিটির ভাইস চ্যান্সেলর হিসাবে আপনাদেরকে জি লাগে আমি দিতে পারবো, জি দিতে পারি আমি দেব। আর আপনাদেরকে কংগ্রাচুলেট করলাম আর বেস্ট উইশেস জানালাম। নমস্কার।
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much for this motivating and really eye-opening session. We are really hopeful that you will be guiding us and mentoring us in future as you are doing it now.